Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be back with another Young Indian, part of the Voice of the Young series. Right now, we have with us Vrinda Krishnatray. Let's listen to her. Over to you, Vrinda.
Thank you so much, sir, for inviting me today. And before I begin my introduction, I would like to use this platform to congratulate all Indians today because as we speak, our group captain, Shubhanshu Shukla, is right now in International Space Station and the Axiom 4 mission has been very successful. So congratulations to all of us and his companion countries as well. So my name is Vrinda Krishnatray and my major is in economics. I have done my undergraduate graduation from University of Delhi. Then I went on to do my master's with a specialization in agribusiness economics. So today I'd like to take this opportunity to share with you all the multidisciplinary nature of economics and why it's just not numbers and graphs. So that story I'd like to tell you all. So how it started was when I was in high school. So I had three major subjects apart from English and mathematics, and that was psychology, geography, and economics. And three of them equally interested me. And when the time came to enter college, I had to obviously pick one. So I read through all of them, what were the career options and different things. But then one question struck me, and that kept me up all night. So that incident was that 2018 budget came out. People were discussing. So we were discussing it in class. My teacher gave some views on that. I came back home. My father had completely different views. My mother shared something else. And I was like, I used to go to tuitions as well. I was passing by a tea stall. I saw people having varied views on that same budget. And as a 17-year-old, I thought numbers are numbers, right? Like X, if X is equal to 2, it is equal to 2. Why are people in favor of it or criticizing it? So this was really intriguing for me, and I thought that I would need to find it on my own. That are people criticizing an economic policy because they are criticizing the government, or is there a flaw in the policy on its own, or if they are in favor of it, is it the favor of the government or not? So this itched me a lot, and I decided that economics is the thing for me. So I went on for it, and I took admission in University of Delhi. Just after the first semester, lockdown began. So then we were all stuck in our homes. I had some extra time in my hand. So I decided to give that time to the first love, that was psychology. So I thought, why not study psychology and economics together? That's how I was introduced to behavioral economics at that time. So during that time, I extensively studied various books, articles on behavioral economics that later went on to, not only make a better understanding in my own personal decisions about life, but understanding others as well, whether it's like in a microeconomic scenario or macro, how economies move, how markets behave, that is all predictably irrational, which is actually a book written by Dan Arley. I was very much influenced by that book, and I also went on to write a book review for that, which was later published in the university magazine. So my mind was constantly on exploring this one subject from different angles. So next angle that came was when I was studying macroeconomics. I came across this quotation by Dr. Robert Lucas, and I'd like to read that out. So what he said was, I quote, I do not see how one can look at figures like these without seeing them as representing possibilities. Is there some action a government of India could take that would lead the Indian economy to grow like Indonesia or Egypt? If so, what exactly? If not, what is it about the nature of India that makes it so? The consequences of human welfare involved in the question like these are simply staggering. Once we start to think about it, it's hard to think about anything else. So this thing, these three, four lines, since then have been stuck in my head. And that day I decided that learning economics, living with economics is going to be a lifelong process, and thinking that what all could India do, what is special in the nature of Indian economy, that we make policies according to that to become a developed country in 2047, hopefully. So, so then the time for master's admissions came, and I thought that if I have to delve deeper, I need to first start from the basic, and that would be agriculture. So then I thought that if I have to study better about agricultural economics, then what better place than Gokhale Institute of Politics and Economics in Pune. So I cracked the entrance and I got into the course of M.Sc Agribusiness Economics. It is a very comprehensive course. So I studied about agribusiness from angles of supply chain, international trade, public policy, its history, and what all we are doing in the industry currently. So based on that, I got into an internship, which was funded by International Rice Research Institute. So it was a value chain study about farmers. So my work was as a data analyst there. I got primary data about the farmers as to what variety of rice they are growing, what are the costs at different steps, what are the challenges, are they aware of government policies or not. Such data I had to process and form a report. And what I found out was that even though many people are aware at the grassroots level about the government policies for financing of their you know farm production, but they find the process to be very tedious as to how we can avail those opportunities, how we can get that government support or crop insurance, and that really deters their growth. So this was the kind of experience I was going through, and every semester I was looking out for a new subject to try on, a new thing to study, and so in between all of this, I was also pursuing some hobbies of writing and public speaking. And so I was the content head for our university's fest committee, which is Manan. So we conducted Pune's biggest economics fest. So as a content head, and me and my team, we used to write various ads, skits to attract the common people towards economics and the games and all that we were organizing. And so that was one new experience for me during that time, quite fun. And and if any young economists are listening to this, and I'm sure they must be, so and if they're interested into creative writing, I would like to use this platform to plant this small idea in their mind that many of us have seen shows like sitcoms like Big Bang Theory and such, where there's a group of friends of who are physicists or chemists, and they are friends and they go about having a comedy show or something like that. I have always thought about having a comedy show for economists. Like this is like at the back of my head as a content writer, and if anybody is listening and they are interested, I would be very happy to contribute. So that, because I still feel that economics is still a subject for I mean, elites is not the right word actually, but like for the specialists. Physics jokes and chemistry memes and such things still resonate a lot with many of the people. But I would really love if our subject is, more understandable and more fun for people to come in and study. So this was like a side mission for me. So yeah. So next, I'd like to talk about how I landed the job that I'm doing right now in geospatial technology and how it is connected to all the things that I've studied till now. But before that, if you have any insights or questions for me.
No, it's very impressive. I'm eager to listen how you shifted. I tried to look up what you do, but I said, no, I'll ask her. It's very interesting. Let's listen to what you do, okay?
Yeah. Okay. So During my coursework, I had this subject on GIS and satellite imagery. So GIS is Geographic Information System. In this, we were taught a software called ArcGIS. So we had various options like mathematics, behavioral economics, ArcGIS, and such. And I thought that behavioral economics is one subject which I studied deeply during my undergrad. Why not learn economics from a new angle? Now, someone might think that how satellite imagery is connected to economics, right? So this was the first question that our professor answered in our first class. So he said that satellite images are used to, for example, take measurements of the land, the plots where farming is being done or commercial activity is being done. So if we can accurately measure the amount of land which is there for farms, which is there for commercial plots, so that smoothens out the revenue collection process, because if the land records are not digital or they are outdated, so those things create a lot of inefficiency for us. Whereas if we have properly collected data, we can also provide the right amount of subsidy according to the crops that are being grown in different plots of land, which we can monitor live through the satellite imagery. So this was a very fun experience for me. So I learned the software. I learned how we can use such technology for disaster management as well. And so I was looking out for job after masters, obviously, and then I came across this opportunity. I applied there and I got in. So my work is as a market research analyst right now in the company RMSI, which is in Delhi NCR only. And my work there is focused on researching about companies and European markets as to how we can, expand our business there, how we can provide, how my geospatial technology company can provide the services there. So there are various big projects going on there. Even India has, in 2022, we launched our national geospatial policy, which was a very welcome move. So what all happens in this is, first of all, we create a national data registry for us in India. So we can then use it to provide the correct subsidy to the farmers, to collect the right taxes, to do town planning. And as we see that migration is day by day increasing, rural to urban migration, cities are proliferating, and so are the slum areas. So how we can manage our utilities, how we can provide safe drinking water, how we can, set up the pipes, gas pipes, water pipes, so that not a high cost is incurred. For that, there is a very special concept called digital twins. So what we do, if I create a digital twin of Delhi, what I mean is I create a complete point by point digital model of Delhi in my laptop. And if I want to if I want to construct some roads or I want to set up some telecom towers, what would be the most cost of efficient way? Which exact place should I dig in? And where I should set up all my procedures so that it can be done in a timely manner. So that I can first do digitally on my laptop using all the satellite imagery and the impact assessment of that, and then we can go on to do it on site. So this creates a very safe construction method, a very cost effective method, and such things for the farmers as well can be done, because different crops are grown in different seasons, which require different amount of subsidy. In one of your vidpeds you had talked about subsidy, Raj. I remember I was watching that. So I think this technology can be combined with the AI can be really used to provide subsidy to the right people at the right time in right amount. So, and also we are in this policy, we are also going to do bathymetric surveys, which are like surveys of inland waterways, marine ecosystem, which can in the long run help us support the blue economy as well. Like what variety of fish in which season, in how much quantity is they're in which parts of the water, how we can efficiently expand our inland waterways, transportation system. So all such things. This is how the thing that I'm doing right now is not directly economics, but that is how I think it has a major role to play in the development of our economy. It can fasten it up. That's what I believe. Yeah.
Well, it's very impressive. I mean, there's a we study economics not because we all want to apply pure economics. We study economics because it gives us the base to deal with real world situations. And what you are talking about is sometimes called ag tech,
Yeah.
agricultural tech,
Agricultural tech.
ag tech. And, I am very, very loosely involved with an ag tech company in New York. They're all
Okay.
satellite data. It's all satellite data.
Yes.
It's all satellite data. And
Mhm.
GIS, everybody uses. It's a tool, and it's useful in so many different things. And I think, you are on the cutting edge of the application of ag tech. So it's
Yeah.
very interesting. You can't just uh, be an economist. The thing is, it teaches you how to think, and it
Yes,
teaches you how
exactly.
it
So
teaches you
true.
how to take account of the fact that in all these issues there are people.
Yeah, there the people angle is there. That the debate of economics is a science, or is it a humanity subject, that remains. And I think, I mean, what would you say to that?
Oh, it is certainly in the real world not a science. You have to take the people into account. You have to take into account, uh, what should I say, the expectations at least of the people and the
Yes.
uh, possibility of change. If you are looking for policies, then you have to think about possibilities of change. So it's not
It's a
going
league in its own, I would say.
Yeah, it's not so
It's
precise that we teach as we teach, but we need the
yeah,
research to be precise. We need the analysis to be precise, but that's the starting point. It's not the end point. And
yeah,
so I would say it starts as a science, but ends up as something which is based on science, but is not science.
yes.
So it is scientific.
It,
People who I, I used to be when I was a consultant, I used to be very frustrated with my colleagues. I said, guys, don't you understand basic economics? And I'd say, the way you guys teach it, nobody understands it. So I actually went back to the university and said, listen, in the real world, people don't understand it. So I'm going to teach non-economists basic economics, which I did.
yeah,
So yes, it is a science and we should not deviate from it, but that should be the starting point, not the end. At the
yeah.
end, it has to be about people. It has to be about
It's good.
it has to be about
Yeah,
them. It cannot be about just the levers. Yes, a subsidy, but the response to the subsidy. We know that from
yeah.
econometrics. The response depends upon the particular market, the particular people. The elasticities or
Yes,
coefficients are not the same everywhere, right? They're different. They're
exactly.
different. So you need, you understand that. You need all this. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So anything else? I mean, tell us about your writing.
Yeah, so I have been I've been into creative writing, like, but if you'd ask that if I've published any papers, hard luck there so far. But yeah, so I've written a lot of into writing essays, into doing creative ad writings, copywriting, such kind of work. I also used to conduct stage whenever there was a seminar or something in college. So that was one of my hobbies. So writing speeches for myself and for other people as well. So this is what I am good at apart from economics.
Okay. But let me go back to your original point. I mean, your
Yeah.
three subjects that you had in class 11 and 12, I've never heard
Yeah.
anyone else having those three subjects. So
Yeah, yeah. I was
how come you ended up there?
So I've been very blessed enough in that way that my school offered that kind of combination. So after I was done with my board exams of class 10th, so that went pretty well. And everybody's expectations, as you know, is that if you are a top scorer, you should be taking the sciences and go for that. And as I started today's session with mentioning our space mission, so at that time I was very enthusiastic about becoming an astronaut. Like I this as a kid, I used to think that the coolest job on this planet is to become an astronaut. But at that time, at when I was in 10th grade, actually the guidance was not that much, and all it appeared was that you definitely have to go abroad, especially to America, and take your education there. Only then there is a slight possibility, and the chances are very slim. And how are we going to manage all of that? So at that time, I didn't have the guidance or the means, the confidence, whatever we can call it. So I thought that then the other option was commerce, which did not attract me. And then I saw that if my school is offering such cool combination in humanities, like I can study geography, psychology, economics together. So I thought definitely I should go for this only then.
But how many
So
of
that's how,
your classmates were in this combination? I'm curious.
sorry,
How
I
many of
didn't
your
get you.
friends took this combination, and was it a popular combination, or were you people were saying, "What is this? You're crazy. What is this combination?" How was it?
No, so English, geography, psychology, these three were there for everybody.
Okay.
Mathematics, uh, I was told to take that you have to study maths anyhow. So, and then I had a choice between political science and economics. And
Okay.
I thought if I'm going to study mathematics, then why not economics? So it was at that time choosing, it was like the line of thought was like this, that if maths is there, why not economics? So
Yeah.
that's how it actually started. But
Okay.
then people's questions, people's views about one single thing, how can people have different views? Today also, when this year also when the budget came, different newspapers, different opinions
Yeah.
about the same thing. And I thought I want to form my own opinion
Yeah.
about things. So I would not say I have reached there, still learning, still in the process, but yeah, I've come a long way since then. And any of the young people who are listening, who are just starting out their economics journey, I would highly recommend them that you should develop one core skill set of yours in economics, which would be your statistics, econometrics, storytelling about the data. These are some core skills, but and also writing and speaking. But don't be afraid to diversify, to learn one subject from various angles, from the angle of geography, how geography affects economies of the different countries, how the behavior of people moves markets, how even the history or the literature of a country affects people's thinking and their attitudes of saving and spending. And when as an economist, when you are at a very high level, or maybe as a consultant, I think that such things should be taken into consideration and are taken into consideration when we form country specific policies. So this thing always keeps a very joyful time when we study economics from different angles. It also diversifies your options as you go ahead, whether you want to go into corporate, you want to go into research, and uh, which which uh, which topic of research would you like to pick? Like these days, energy economics, climate finance, these are very upcoming, very promising. So these things, if you are interested in, then the students should really study about such stuff.
Okay. So how did you
Yeah.
find Pune? I mean, you were in Delhi all
Pune
your life,
is
and now you were in Pune. How did you find it?
Pune is a very lovely city. I think my inner child was so happy being there. First of all, I would say going from Delhi to Pune, the first good thing is the air. Very so I got to breathe clean air for 2 years. What more can I ask for?
Uh,
And then there is a culture of trekking there a lot because there are so many forts and hills around, and I really enjoy doing that. So every second week we used to go for any kind of small trek here and there. So that was really good. The people in Pune, I found that they are very warm, very welcoming, and we used to every other month there is some festival. And we had in our hostel we had people from south, from north, east, west, everywhere, and every month one of the other communities would have their own festivals. So we used to celebrate that. I learned a lot about different cultures of different parts of the country. So Pune has been, I mean, I could say that Pune is, apart from Delhi, if I had to ever go and settle somewhere, Pune would be the choice. It's a very, very pretty city, I
okay,
would say.
all right. Anything
Have,
else?
have you been there?
Well, I have very close links to Pune.
Oh, how
I have
so?
multiple very close links, but the closest link I can tell you is that in Pune there is a hospital called Sassoon Hospital. And
Mhm.
Sassoon Hospital has a society called Society of Friends of Sassoon Hospital, Soforsh. And Soforsh has, what should I say, sort of you can call it orphanage, which is called Sri Vats. And
Okay,
Sri
okay.
Vats is a place where, they look after young children who have been
Hmm.
either left by their parents or abandoned or are orphans or whatever. And
Yeah,
they are open for adoption. And my wife and
okay.
I adopted a child from Srivats in 1994.
Oh, that's so
So
lovely.
we have a very close link. And that Srivats is very well run, I must say. It is a
Okay.
fantastic place. They have very limited money, but they do a great job with the
Hmm.
money that they have, and a very, very impressive place. Uh,
Oh, that's lovely.
I have many other links, but this is the most direct link
Yeah,
that,
link. Yeah.
yeah, so,
I see. There is one culture that I noticed in Pune, which I liked a lot personally, that they name their homes with like taking a word from Sanskrit or Marathi. Like in North, I usually see that homes are named like just by the surname of that family or just by the mother's name, that so and so's home or nivas. But like in Pune, they take their home's name very seriously. They have very uh, not heavy is not the right word, but like very old and very aesthetic, those words they take up from Marathi, Sanskrit, and then they name their homes, which I liked a lot. Like this is a very small gesture, but it like carries on the culture's legacy in a way
okay.
that everywhere you see such things.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to add here?
No, I think I shared my all experiences
Okay, fine.
in
So
brief.
let's end
Yeah.
it here today. Don't go away. I want to talk to you offline.
Yeah.
And I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Till then, bye, everybody.
Thank you.